On a cold winter evening, the 29th of December 1969, Muriel McKay vanished from her home in Wimbledon, England. She was the wife of a senior newspaper executive, but for the men who took her, she was a case of mistaken identity. Decades later, her remains have still never been found. This is the story of Muriel McKay, a kidnapping, a ransom, and a murder without a body, a mystery that haunts her family to this day. Who was Muriel McKay? Muriel Frida McKay was born on the 4th of February 1914 in Adelaide, Australia. She later moved to the UK, where she married Alec McKay, a newspaper executive who worked closely with Rupert Murdoch. Muriel was known to be warm, composed, and devoted to her family. In 1969, she was living in Wimbledon with her husband in a comfortable life, largely out of the public spotlight. Her connection to Rupert Murdoch was not direct, but through her husband's work, she was part of an influential circle. Still, she was not a celebrity, and she was far from expecting the danger that would come her way. A deadly case of mistaken identity. In late 1969, two brothers, Arthur and Nizamuddin Hussain, had grown desperate. Their financial troubles were severe, and they believed they had a way out. Kidnap the wife of a very powerful man, demand ransom, and walk away with a fortune. They watched the McKay home. They believed that Rupert Murdoch's wife, Anna, lived there, a tragic misunderstanding. In reality, they were only watching Muriel McKay's house because her husband had used Murdoch's car. On the night of the 29th of December, they made their move. The abduction. Muriel was taken from her home. According to later accounts, the kidnappers forced their way into the house. They searched through her things, took jewelry, and made off with her, all without leaving signs of a typical kidnapping scene. By early morning, her husband had discovered that she was missing. The house was undisturbed in many ways, but her handbag was left behind, some items were scattered, and the phone appeared to have been tampered with. Not long after she disappeared, the McKay family received a chilling call, a ransom demand of £1 million. The voice on the other end claimed to be part of a mafia-like organisation, but their target was Muriel McKay, who, they insisted, was the wife of Rupert Murdoch. It was a dangerous lie built on an incorrect assumption. Letters followed. Threats, insistence that Muriel was alive. The family was thrust into a nightmare. Their loved ones taken, a vast sum demanded, all with no guarantee that she would be returned. Investigation and discovery. Detectives immediately traced the ransom calls. Their investigation zeroed in on a farm in Stocking Pelham, Hertfordshire, which belonged to the Hussain brothers. When the police searched the farm, they found some of Muriel's belongings, including her diary, personal effects, and even items from her handbag. This made it clear to detectives that she had been held there at some point. Authorities arrested Arthur and Nizamuddin Hussain. Even though Muriel's body was never found, the evidence against them was strong. trial and conviction. In 1970, both Hussein brothers stood trial at the Old Bailey. Despite the lack of a body, the jury was convinced. They found the brothers guilty of kidnapping and murder. They were sentenced to life in prison, and yet Muriel's remains remained missing. The search for the body, decades later. Over 50 years after her disappearance, Muriel's family continues to search for her. In 2022, the Metropolitan Police launched a major dig at the former farm site, using ground-penetrating radar and forensic archaeologists to try and find her remains, but their efforts came up empty. In 2024, a second major search took place, again on the farm. Investigators followed up on new leads and the information provided by Nizamuddin Hussain, who said he knew where she was buried. Despite intensive efforts, no body was discovered. Confessions and controversy. Decades after serving his prison sentence in the UK, Nizamuddin Hussain returned to his home country, Trinidad and Tobago. In recent years, he told Muriel's family and investigators that she died at the farm, claiming she suffered a heart attack whilst being held captive. He indicated she was buried behind a barn at the farmhouse, but when police searched again, they found no remains. Investigators have said that some of the details he provided were inconsistent. Final reflection. More than half a century has passed, and the question still remains: where is Muriel McKay? Her family has held on to hope through decades, pressing for answers, funding searches, and confronting the pain of her absence. Her case stands as one of the most tragic examples in British crime, not just because of the violence, but because of the mistake at its centre. Two men thought they were kidnapping one woman. Instead, they took another woman's life entirely and buried her somewhere that may never be found. Muriel McKay's story reminds us that even powerful people are not immune to tragedy, and sometimes the greatest mysteries are not how someone died, but where the truth lies.